afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on commercial insurance. Our guest speaker today is 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗀, who is a commercial lines account manager at Jones Insurance. With years of experience in business, banking, and finance, she has been instrumental in ensuring her clients' needs are met. Today, Kalya will be sharing insights on insurance, helping us better understand its importance in business. We are very fortunate to have Kalya here with us today to guide us through this discussion.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kalya, and I'm a commercial insurance broker or commercial account manager here with Jones Insurance, based here in Thunder Bay. Thank you to NADF for the opportunity for us to take part in this Webinar Wednesday series and for having me here today. As commercial insurance brokers, we specialize in helping businesses protect what matters, whether that is your property, your operations, employees, or the bottom line. Working with entrepreneurs like you is one of the best parts of our job because we get to learn all about you and your business and work together to create a risk management plan. My goal today is to provide some insights that will hopefully help make informed decisions about options for coverage and ensure your business is set up for success. So I'm really looking forward to connecting with all of you and answering any questions that you may have. We can go to the next slide, please. So about Jones Insurance, we are a locally owned, family-operated, independent insurance brokerage serving Thunder Bay in Northwestern Ontario. Last year was our 40th year in business. We've served over 15,000 clients across all sectors, from farm to forestry to nonprofit, mining, and commercial realty. We volunteer 3,000 hours a year and can't wait to bump into some of you at many of the community events that we proudly sponsor each year. If you see us out in person, please come and introduce yourself. We would love to meet you. Jones Insurance and our commercial lines team is led by Jeff Jones, who has 20 years in the industry and is truly a wealth of knowledge and just all around lovely human. Jeff has the absolute pleasure of managing myself and 𝗪𝗵𝗿𝗀𝗍, who is a previous PGA pro golfer, along with two of our rockstar commercial brokers, 𝗪𝗪𝗿𝗍 and 𝗪𝗲𝗍𝗪. We have an excellent admin team. We have our exceptionally talented, always wonderful marketing coordinator, 𝗬cie Gonzalez, who I believe is on our call today as well. Upstairs, we have 12 fantastic personal lines members as well. So if you need information on personal insurance for a quote for home, auto, a camp, sled, we'd be happy to help out with that as well. We have a culture of supporting and shopping local whenever we can, and we would love for you to do the same. We can go to the next slide. So why does a business need insurance? For many, many reasons, some of which are protection from financial losses. So these are perils. Some of the common ones are fire, flood, sewer backup, crime, falling objects, equipment, and water damage. There might be legal requirements for you to have insurance, like a contractor in Ontario being legally required to carry a $2 million or $5 million liability policy, which would protect against property damage or personal injury due to the work that you're doing. There might be lender requirements. So if you owe somebody money, like a mortgage, an asset loan, or an operating line of credit. Business continuity assurance. So it's not just about surviving a claim or a crisis. It's about ensuring that your business can continue operating. You can keep employees on payroll, which will help keep your customers. Insurance is a great way to safeguard employees and assets. If your business can't survive a claim, what happens to your staff? Would you have the financial means to pay to replace your equipment or your inventory? Protecting the environment. Insurance can cover the cost of environmental remediation, including, but not limited to, groundwater, soil excavation, hazardous waste disposal. We can go to the next slide. Thank you. So types of commercial insurance at a high level. We start every risk review that we do with clients sort of looking at this as a guide. It'll be anywhere between 1, sometimes there are 12, sometimes there are 13 different areas, but just for this presentation, we kept it to 9 of the sort of most seen types of commercial insurance. So number 1 is your general liability insurance. So this is going to protect your business against third-party claims for property damage and personal injuries. This is the stuff that you can get sued for. So slip and falls, being sued for your product harming someone, Second is property insurance. This is for protection for assets like buildings, equipment, contents, inventory, finished product. Number 3 is your professional liability insurance. This protects service-based industries like ourselves, lawyers, accountants, and counselors, for example. Under that category, there is an errors and omissions, which is what we call E&O insurance. And this is for claims of negligence or giving bad advice. Directors and officers, D&O insurance, will offer protection for board members, shareholders, business executives from personal liability for decisions that lead to lawsuits against the companies that they're representing. Those can be things like financial mismanagement, poor due diligence, and breach of fiduciary duty. Employee practice liability is another area under professional liability. We refer to that as an EPL, and that can cover employers' defense costs and losses for employment-related claims. So those are derived from issues like harassment, wrongful dismissal, and discrimination. Moving into commercial auto insurance, number 4. These are vehicles used for commercial operations or owned by companies, or vehicles that are rated in such a way that they just can't go on a personal insurance policy. Like if they're too heavy, like a cube van or a moving van, they'll have different weight limitations. So sometimes those just have to go on a commercial policy. There's a bit of a misconception that commercial auto is much more expensive than personal auto. It isn't. It can be, but it's just the way that, just the category to put commercial auto to make sure that you have the right protection for the things that you're doing. Number 5 is cyber insurance. This will protect your business from financial losses due to cyber attacks, data breaches, and ransomware incidents. Business interruption is number 6. This protection will cover the cost or the lost income or revenue during a disruption. So if you own a restaurant and there is a fire in the restaurant, the property insurance will cover the cost of the physical damage, the structure, or the restaurant. The business interruption will cover the cost of the lost revenue while your restaurant is closed. Number 7 is equipment breakdown. Equipment breakdown covers the cost to repair or replace equipment that is required to run your business. An example here could be a bakery having a power surge and the refrigerators being damaged. If the stock is destroyed, the finished product can't be sold. There will be insurance needed to replace that equipment or repair that equipment. Number 8 is a really important one, pollution liability. These cover the costs related to environmental damage, cleanup, and third-party claims from pollution incidents. There are 2 different types. One is sudden and one is gradual. In a sudden case, you would know about it. You would see a spill. You would know that contamination or that event has occurred. Typically within 20 or 48 hours, it has to be reported. Gradual are instances that you don't know about it. These cause damage. They can be traced back, but you might not see about it. Like if you're a contractor and you nick a line and that water line is behind a wall and it causes mold to grow in a lowering unit, that could be a instance of a pollution liability. So very common ones are fuel tank spills, mold, asbestos, soil or water contamination. Number 9 is our products liability. Product recall covers you for defective products. An example of this is a prepackaged salad sold in a grocery store being contaminated with bacteria. This will cover the cost of notifying the public that this has happened, removing and replacing the salads, the business interruption. There might be legal fees and settlements if they occur. I think we may have lost our spot, but I think we're going back to slide 5 if we can. Please. All right. So choosing the right policy. It's really important to know that not all insurance is created equal. Your broker should understand your industry and be able to advise you on the risk or the exposures relevant to your industry so you can make informed decisions on the coverage that you're paying for. We say all the time in this office that there is not much point of paying for commercial insurance if it's not going to cover you for the operations that you're doing. We want to make sure that your policy is underwritten properly, that we understand the exposures, that we're reporting the operations accurately, so there is no disconnect between you and the underwriters of what that contract is supposed to do. So your broker is the point of contact, or one of the best points of contact to communicate that back to underwriting. So your broker has market knowledge that can help you save money. We have access to more than just one insurance market, and we stay on top of the market changes, so we know when to compare providers and move accounts if necessary. We can go to slide 6, please. So some of the cost factors of commercial insurance. The more revenue that you have, the bigger business that you are, the greater exposure that you are, and in terms of the insurance company, the more likelihood of claims there is. So the key factors are business size and industry. If you're a manufacturing company with 50 employees versus a local flower shop with 2, those 2 businesses carry different exposures. So they will have different ratings when it comes to determining yearly premium, which is just the money that the insurance company is charging you to insure your operation. The revenue, again, a flower shop with a yearly revenue of 10 million versus a flower shop with a yearly revenue of 50,000 are going to carry a different exposure, and therefore the premium is going to be higher on the flower shop with the 10 million revenue. So there are coverage limits and deductibles. You can insure for a whole bunch of different things to a whole bunch of different limits, and you can adjust the deductible. So your insurance should be a flexible product. There are discussions, there are ways to offset some of those costs. If you want to carry a higher deductible, that can sometimes help drive those premiums down. Those are conversations to have with an insurance broker. Your claims history, claims happen. If you're taking the steps you can to mitigate loss, it can help keep costs down. If you've had, a whole bunch of auto claims and nothing has been put in place to sort of prevent that from happening, or same with property claims, that claims history will start affecting your premiums. The location and risk exposure, just for example, being close to a fire hall. If you are closer to a fire hall, a total loss is less if the firefighters can respond sooner. So your premiums will be higher depending on your location. We can go to slide 7, please. So some benefits to commercial insurance. You will have a risk management plan. There will be some peace of mind. Your assets will be protected. Disaster recovery, we talk about disaster recovery with a lot of our clients. We can provide samples of disaster recovery plans, and that can be who gets called, who's doing what, who's responsible for, who's going to work from home, who's not going to work from home, how quickly can we find a new location, all of those types of things. So we can provide samples of disaster recovery plans and give some broker advice around that. Having commercial insurance with a broker, there is just a level of broker advice that comes with that. We're pretty well connected in the community as well, so we can, in time of a claim, we can phone the the service masters and the windmars and the on-site restoration companies. We can direct you to plumbers if necessary, electricians. We can help push that claim along and make sure that we have adjusters looking at your claim. So a lot of benefits there. We can go to slide 8, please. So some common misconceptions that we hear all the time, that if I'm a small business, I don't need insurance. So, and technically sometimes you don't need insurance. It's really up to you what you are comfortable insuring for or self-insuring for. So technically, unless you owe money, and it's a legal requirement, you don't technically. We believe that you should. Lots of times, if you want to operate somewhere that somebody else requires you to have insurance for, like if you want to do anything with the city, they require you to have a 5 million general liability now. So if you want to protect your staff, if you get accused of something, if you get sued for something, if you have an accident, or if you damage something or have your space damaged, insurance can help cover all of those things. There's a very big misconception that having a general liability covers everything, unless you're really getting into the wordings on that policy, which are typically just like the back, 80 pages of an insurance contract that not a lot of people read. It's a big misconception. Like, I have insurance, I must have insurance for everything. There are a lot of exclusions now within the wordings, within the contract of those policies. So it's just good to actually read those, understand what's in there. Some of them might be a pollution exclusion, a cyber exclusion. We're seeing a lot of like the PFAS forever chemical exclusions now. If you have a US exposure or deriving US revenue, sometimes that operation is excluded. So just good to actually read the wordings of your contract. Another one is that insurance is too expensive. Insurance can be expensive. Insurance doesn't have to be expensive. We like to work with you, shop around, make recommendations on different markets that might be more competitive, and just use our network to make sure that you're getting the most, sort of bang for your buck. There's a big misconception that cyber insurance isn't necessary. Cyber insurance isn't necessary until it is. Cybersecurity and data protection are actually governed by 𝗞𝗶𝗍𝗶, which is the Personal Information Protection Electronic Documents Act, which is federal law in Canada. So this law requires companies to protect customer data. So if you are confident that you are doing absolutely everything that you can to prevent a cyber breach, then you may not need insurance, cyber insurance. Cyber insurance is excluded in a lot of general liability policies. So we really recommend cyber insurance for everybody. These policies can cover defense costs, fines, compensation for lost income, expenses needed to restore operations or systems. They can cover ransomware attacks. If your system is locked in, you need to pay a demand. Big fan of cyber insurance. We can go to slide 9. Yeah, so how to get started and why you should work with us. You can call us or visit us online. We want to learn about your business. The more that we know, the more that we can protect you. So we want to spend time. We want to get to know your operations. We want to, if you have a physical location, we want to see that physical location. We want to know about inventory, supply chain. We want to know who your clients are, so we have a full understanding of your business. Once we do that, we'll market your business to a number of insurance companies, and we'll shop for the best coverage at the most competitive rate. Insurance policies are a legal contract between you and the insurance company, so it's really important to know what you have coverage for and know what you might not have coverage for. So at the time of the claim, you know who's responsible and who's paying for what. We can go to slide 10, please. So just as a quick recap, there are many different types of insurance. What you need will depend on what your operations are. We would love for you to work with an insurance broker that you trust and that will take the time to get to know you and your business, understand the operations, and find solutions that will cover you for the things that you're doing. It's important to understand that not all policies are created equal. We don't want to just compare the terminology in our industry, as we just don't want to compare apples to apples or just shop on price. We want to actually get into the nitty-gritty of those insurance contracts and understand the wording and know how it's going to actually respond at the time of a claim, because they're not all written the same. Insurance is a necessary piece of any risk management program. We hope that you never need to use your insurance. But if you do, we're there to support you during the claims process. That's a really important piece. We have 24/7 claims reporting. We will be there for you. We go to major losses. We have the people that we can connect you with, and we make sure that that claim is handled properly from start to finish. So next steps, support and shop local. You can visit us online. You can drop into our office anytime. We're right on Memorial Avenue, right beside Boston Pizza. You can give us a shout, make an appointment with us. We can come to you and ask us lots of questions.
Thank you so much for sharing your expert knowledge on commercial insurance today. Your insights were incredible, valuable. And do we have any questions? It was quite knowledgeable, I guess. Nobody has questions.
Yeah, fantastic.
So you can contact John's Insurance for further knowledge. We'll share the contact details with you by email. And the PPT that we presented today, it will also be sent to you by email. And we'll do the $75 e-gift card for the part. Oh, do we have one question here? Are you strictly local? We have one question from 𝗟𝗲𝗿𝗍.
Our office is local, but we can insure anything in Ontario. So we're licensed anywhere in Ontario. We do have regional, we do have some clients outside of Thunder Bay, just our office is in Thunder Bay. So we can write insurance anywhere in Ontario. And we, support Thunder Bay as much as we can because we are here, but we can write business anywhere. And we do have clients outside of Thunder Bay.
Do you have any in remote communities? We have question from Charlton another.
We don't have offices in remote communities, but we can work. We can insure businesses in remote communities, and we do have clients in remote communities.
Anything else? Do we have any more questions? I guess that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you having me today.